Good morning, everybody, on July 4th, 2025. I just confirmed my audio. I don't know if you guys could hear it or not. And the Yeti is unplugged, so there will be no echoing. Let's jump right into chat. Brian Lightfoot says, Hola! Darren says, Hi. Darren and Brian are exchanging, Hello, hello, hello. What's all this here then? Good morning, Martin, or good afternoon, or good evening. I have no idea what time it is where Martin Hogg is at right now. I know he's across the pond somewhere. It could be that it's around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, same as Aaron, but I honestly have no idea. Hello, Minnie. Yeah, I need to really get it. Well, I do have this is my golfing hat, and this is my marker when I feel that I really need to mark where the ball is at and line it up for the putt, which does help most of the time, by the way. Um, no audio, Doug. Just kidding. No, I confirmed audio. The first thing I did is like very just turn it up very slightly so I can barely hear it, but I know it's there, and then I go from there. Charlie Purdy, good morning, Charlie. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world, which I'm thinking is maybe the West Coast, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Bobby Warren says hi. Hello, Bobby. Haven't seen you in a long, long while. And Wintermute says happy 4th. Yep, today's the 4th of July, and going to be a busy day in the stores. People are going to be grilling and chilling and chilling and grilling. So let's get to what I want to talk about today. And that is what I want to start out with. And you know what? That's not supposed to have changed, but it did. Interesting. So we're going to come over here. You're going to see, oh, you still see Zoom. Well, that's fine. I can live with that while I set this up because I got something interesting this morning. I don't know if that's going through or not. Yep, maybe it is now. So I'm going to leave this. I might have to remember to do this like this all the time. This actually works pretty good. So let's, why is the camera on? If I turn the camera off, that's going to affect that. Let's change this right here to that right there. And you can see my phone. And you can see I got a message this morning. I'm going to scroll off to the side so I don't inadvertently click something. I haven't gotten one of these in quite a long time. UPS Ground rescheduled my shipment package. I don't have anything coming in, but they were unable to contact me. Reschedule now by clicking on this link. Well, let's see here. What if we were to go look at that link, which is www.ups dot, and I have no idea if I'm typing this right, at SEV service SEVI. Oh, it's not. It's serving, not service. Serving WO dot CO / link, I think it says, or / ink, I believe is what that says. So first of all, let's go see if that's what that says. www.ups.com. Oh, one of my dots is a comma, so I got to change that. That's what I get for trying to type and look at something at the same time. So we're going to take that out, put that in there. www.ups.com at serving WO ink. Okay, well, that looks like it's right. Let's go ahead and hit the old enter button and see where this goes. Oh, Oh, my. Can you imagine that? The horror on my face when I found it was a 404 not found. So, needless to say, I'm going to delete that off of my phone. Um, I'm not going to hit yes. I'm not going to hit no. I'm going to hit report junk, and I'm going to report it as junk. Don't know why. Well, I do know why. Apparently, at some point in time, they've been successful. So, report junk, and it's done. And I got a text message from Rick Blake, so I'm going to deal with that here in just a little bit. Let us get back to there. Let me catch up with chat real quick. Not sure why Zoom is not showing. Well, I am sure why. Operator error. So let's see here. Brian Lightfoot's got the fireworks show with the fire extinguisher with the fire department. No, it's not a URL. It's an email. Oh, okay. All right. I'm still not going to send him an email. And my machine's in caps, Brian. That's I. When I changed the thumbnail, I apologize. It didn't have the normal Doug thumbnail today because I woke up late. I watched 3 episodes of The Librarians last night and getting lessons from Doug. Laugh if you may, but Doug has actually taught me quite a lot, as have the Zoom homies have taught me quite a lot. The problem is the retention. My retention levels waning in my old age. Martin, did you ever say where you're from, or maybe you don't want to say where you're from? Let me scroll through Trat here. I'm going to scroll through chat. Oh my gosh, starting this day off really good. So I do have a couple things written down that I want to do for the show for on DaVinci and probably in OBS. Rick did watch part 2 and he did say that it helped him, so that made me feel pretty good. That makes it worth. I haven't even looked at statistics from YouTube yet this morning. I barely got up in time to make coffee, cook breakfast, schedule the stream. Boy, 15 years from now, they're going to say, "Did you start slurring your words at 66?" Long Dog's here. Hello, Long Dog. I don't know why that gets turned into lawn. It does sound like lawn, but it's lawn. What an interesting screen name. So, wow. The studio is once again, very far behind. It's just now showing when I shared in the studio now, in the studio, it's just now showing what I was showing a moment ago. And you can see that right here, barely, that that's what's showing up on the studio right now. But I do have an excellent connection. So if I come back to this scene here, which is the main zoom, and I wave, that means it's pretty quick. That was almost a second delay. Oh, the horror, a second delay. It makes it confusing though because I look at both. I watch Zoom and on my peripherals I see the main screen there and the studio screen there. Excuse me. Usually they are one and the same. However, in this case, they are not, which is really odd. Hello, Rich. Good morning. Good afternoon to you. Not sure which. I know it's afternoon where you're at, but if you're like me, you might just be getting out of bed. Darren and I were talking about the librarians right before we came on air or went live, and it's an okay show. It's predictable, um, but it's an okay show. Got any big plans for the 4th, Rich?
Nope.
No grilling, no chilling, just hanging out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same here. I am going to go see my mom. I'm actually going to take her a fresh bouquet of roses from the flowers that I grow in my yard. I may take pictures of those. They're primarily lilies and um, I'm not going to cut the hostas, but my hostas bloom. They got interesting flowering to them. My lilies are absolutely fantastic this year. So roses, not so much because I haven't been watering them. So ha ha ha. Lawn was created to make my handle. I can't believe the rarity of the first. My first name has been turned down. Is your first name really Lon, like as in Lon Chaney? Um, that long. Brian says that long LONG dog. Uh, it will be a 10 o'clock show tonight. Um, may try to go a little longer than the normal 15 minutes. After all, it is the 4th of July. Um, other than visiting my mom, that's about all I've got planned. I got some projects planned. Um, I do want to get the Dancing Girls redid for the end stream for the night show. I do want to actually work on an end stream for this stream covering for Doug. Um, if you were part of Ed Curry's channel, that's Marie Curry's son, by the way, you would know some of the humorous speakings of my voice, pronunciations. I haven't had my coffee yet. Wait, what's my excuse at night when I've had 7 cups of coffee? Oh, that's the excuse at night. I've had 7 cups of coffee. Now I drink about 3 a day. I'm trying not to drink it at night. Sorry about that. My nose itches for some reason. Isn't that a sign of it? You're about to become inherently wealthy? Oh no, it means UPS is going to send you a thing that's not from UPS. Oh, the here we go. Check up the. I'm going to move. Interesting. It picked up my thumb, but it did not move my picture. Now I got to do some experimenting. I'm gonna hold up my hand and see. Usually, when you raise your hand, that's the one that does that. When you raise your hand, it raises your hand and it moves your position on Zoom from where you were to the upper left hand corner. And that's probably to get someone's attention that you've got not as if you don't see this big hand up there. They got to move your screen. Oh my goodness. And I'm going to click lower hand and I should go back over there, which I did. I suspect it's because the Evelyn Woodhead speed reading course not paying attention. Yeah, Cheech and Chong. Cheech and Chong. Very, very funny. Very, very funny. I don't have anything to share. I haven't looked at comments. I haven't looked at content. I haven't done anything. RoboForm updated. If you're using RoboForm, it updated for me this morning, and it does that automatically. I get a little pop-up that says, "There's a new version of RoboForm. You're currently using version blah 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 blah. Would you like to update?" And I always click yes and let it do its thing. Um, Speaking of RoboForm, I think when I get my laptop here, hopefully next week, I will have to try to put it on there. I don't remember how many computers I can put it on based on the licensing that I have on that. Um, be right back. I need to do this right here. I could do that a different way, I suppose. I suppose I could actually do that this way. Streaming. I'll scratch my beard, but all right, we're back. Long Dog says laptop. Yes, I have a laptop coming. I have a Windows 11 HP laptop, 16-inch screen. I can't remember if it's a touch screen or not. A homie procured it for me, and we are going to meet about halfway. Even though I'm fully okay with driving the entire distance by myself, I still do like to drive. Um, but it's anymore, I like to drive with a purpose. Used to be we would just drive just to be driving. We would say pick a direction and we go that way, and then we just see where we ended up at. In the state of California, we ended up in some pretty interesting places. In Illinois, we saw a lot of cornfields. In Indiana, we usually go to the national parks and the state parks and see what's going on there, which is a lot of trees and a lot of wildlife. Susanna Morgan, proud single mother, joins us. Hello, Susanna. Tony said something and retracted it, and then he says, "Good afternoon." Good morning to you, Tony. Got your message this morning. Happy 4th to you as well. Everybody try to stay safe today. Remember, if you light the firecracker, to throw the firecracker and keep the lighter in your hand. Helpful tips by Ken. I only say that because I watched a shorter reel. I can't remember if it was on YouTube or Facebook, but it's two guys. They run up. They're gonna light a firecracker. They're gonna put it in a jar for some reason. I guess to see if it'll explode the jar or break the jar. And he lights it, puts the lighter in the jar, keeps the firecracker in his hand, runs away, and then you hear it explode and you hear him yell in pain, obviously. Robert Michael joins us morning, afternoon, evening, one of the two. Yep. Yes. Straight west out of Escondido. When you go 100 miles, you kind of end up in the water. Um, oh, we used to go to Oceanside a lot. I like the Oceanside Pier. The beach was kind of nice. We used to go to Yosemite. We used to go to San Francisco. We used to go out into the desert. We used to go over the mountains. A lot of things. Keyword is used to because I no longer live in California. Might visit again someday, but I don't ever intend to live there ever again. Very historical town. Dad was 92 at the time, figuring out how to get back home. Took a little bit of wandering. Yeah, Idaho I'd like to see. Montana I would like to see. No desire to see North Dakota or South Dakota. I think at one point in time in my life, I thought, you know what? I'd actually like to go to all 50 states. I no longer have that desire. Can't drive to Hawaii, so that's out. I'm not a big fan of flying, so not a big fan of getting on a boat or a ship, whatever you want to call it, and sailing across the water. Um, you could, yep, I could. Martin Hogg is correct. I could make a list of left and right commands by taking a coin and flipping it, making that decision. Wow, the technical difficulties just now show up. I got to get with Sam later on that. I've got to figure out why my OBS is currently live because you guys see the coin right now over there on the studio version. It had the pop up of the studio or of technical difficulties when I had to scratch my nose. Interesting. Let us go ahead and run there.
Silk and satin and feel the night. Ooh, yeah. Glitter falling, golden light. Shine, shine. Every step a whispered tease.
If I go here, right, that is what's showing on the studio right now. You can see it's so far behind because it's just showing Rich, Darren, and myself. If I go back to the main
silk and satin and feel the night. Ooh, yeah. Glitter falling, golden light. Shine, shine.
That's all, folks.
Would you look at that? The scroll actually did its thing and was correct for once. Good boy, Dougie. Good boy. I don't know what's up with that sometimes. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank everyone for taking time out of the holiday on the 4th of July. I realize in some places it's late morning or early morning. Some places it's late at night. Some places it's the middle of the afternoon. But I do appreciate each and every one of you taking the time out to join my version of live Windows training with Doug Betts, which obviously we don't have Doug here. Hopefully he's doing a show tomorrow. I know he said on his thing the other day when he was on top of the mountain and you couldn't hear him that he was going to try to do a show on Saturday, normal show on Saturday, by the way, not a show, a normal show. Boston, Massachusetts. All right, Charlie Purdy is from Boston. Are you a Celtics fan or a Red Sox fan? Just wondering. Asking for a friend. Could you run the Dead Terrace sketch as an intro? Martin, send me a link or send me an email and let me know where and what that is. And sure, if I deem it's not unfriendly, blah, 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 if it's family friendly, sure. I've got all kinds. I had a suggestion last night from the homie for a trailer, and the problem is I forgot to write it down. 66, and I got to write everything down. Man, pretty soon I'm going to be going. Step one, start stream. Step two, um, oh, Brute, you're you're a hockey guy. Okay, hockey's good to watch every now and again. I'm born in El Paso, raised in Indiana. Basketball, football, baseball, probably in that order. 6'4", so I played basketball. Ran track. We didn't have football at my little school, so that was never an option. Um, that's my sports. Um, should have played basketball in college. Could have played basketball in college. I just didn't. I chose to go in the military, and I did play a on the army team when I was stationed in South Korea, which was cool. I'll tell you about that one of these days. Um, the Dead Terrorist. I will see if I can find that. Oh, Rick doesn't. Rick, you don't have anything. Brian, that's pretty good. When we had Brady football. Long Dog drops a link for Parks and Recreation in Idaho. I'll check that out after the stream. And I think I'll have to go find that by myself as far as what Martin Hogg was recommending. And this is great. I really appreciate. Now see, this is weird. Look what's showing look what's showing in the studio right now. Zoom can't see it. It's just now showing the outro. That is so crazy because usually, how this usually works is, I'll wait till this gets back. How this usually works is I go to OBS, I fire up OBS, and I shut it down every night. It's a fresh start. I go to start stream, I select the stream, start it. OBS kicks in 4 seconds later. I've timed this out. 4 seconds. What's on OBS will start showing on the studio. 2 seconds later, for a total of 6 seconds, it starts on the stream. Except for today. Today, it went 4 seconds. It went 2 seconds. It started there. And then the studio went back to Arkansas or Pittsburgh or who knows where it went. So Martin Hogg did drop me a link. Cool. Let me look at that real quick. Thank you, Martin.
Good evening, Ahmed. Good evening.
Oh, okay.
Infidel. So you're a terrorist? Yes.
Yes,
I
I clearly will
What kind of
probably.
terrorist? A terrifying.
I can use that. I'll have to trim it down. It's 4 minutes and 53 seconds in length. However, I can only use up to 3 minutes, and I always cut mine off at 257, 258 to ensure I get under the 3 minutes because YouTube always adds 1 second. If you do 259 or 258 point whatever, it's 259. If you do 259, it's always 3 minutes. So good. Trying to get a link. Martin is asking for Rick's link. If anyone can get it, Wintermute. And if he had a show scheduled for this afternoon, I could point you to his show because the redirect did work yesterday. The redirect worked for me, so it's good.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rick's Tech Pub.
And I don't know if anyone beat me or not. John Williams is here. Hey, John, good to see you. There you go, Martin. That is the link to Rick's show from yesterday, which will get you to his channel. Be sure to give him a like and a subscription if you haven't already. And Rick, if you'll let me know on the days you're going to, yeah, you can do it that way too. You can click, yeah, good point, Winter Mute. Good point. Click on it if you're a moderator, as most people here are. Click on the three dots, go to channel, and that takes you to his channel. Forgot all about that. Yeah, I did it the hard way. I actually opened up my YouTube, went to the studio, or went to history, found yesterday's, and put the link in that way. But that's just much simpler. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but if you're not a moderator, you cannot go to the channel. You can only report or block said person. It's really weird. And I think that's the primary reason why a lot of people make people mods. I know that's pretty much the reason I do that, and I trust my mods. If you guys see something in there like that Brian Lightfoot guy, I'm surprised nobody's done anything with him yet. Man, he gets away with murder. Chris Garrett joins us in chat. Hello, Chris. John put 32. Not sure what the 32 is for, but I want my phone. There was a movie back in the late 70s, early 80s that it had a tagline in there called "I Want My Cake." I think it might have been a Twilight Zone movie, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know the line in that was a zombie was "I want my cake," and I can't. I'll have to Creep Show. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Winter Mute is on it. I want my MTV. Dire Straits. Um, Money for Nothing. Brian Life. Do I know you? Oh, we're into overtime. That should make some people happy. I'm going to test a theory here. And that theory is going to be this. Yeah, the theory didn't work. Doggone it. I'm going to have to stretch that out a little longer. I went to get a fresh cup of coffee, is what I did. No, Brian, I did not go to the bathroom. That was still a funny deal way back when, too. Um, Using an iPad, so it's a bit different. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll have to time one out so I can get it. And I spilled the coffee, by the way, because I didn't know how long it would take. Ben's a little shaky with pouring my coffee, so there's now coffee on the counter, which is fine. The ants now get something to drink. I figure I might as well be hospitable to him, and feed him and give him some water. Speaking of that, me and the turtle had a fun time last night. That turtle is so dumb, I tell you. I put the thing that he likes to climb up on over in the middle of the tank because he can't. When it's on the side, he can't get up there. So I moved it to the middle. I put him on top of the thing, and he immediately jumped off. Well, I've been told it's a female turtle, so it makes sense. It wants to do it itself. But I know what the noise is at night now because when I was watching the librarians, I had the tank up and running, and it's not him banging into anything. It's him actually banging into the side of the aquarium. He actually is almost like ramming it, maybe to get out. I don't know. John says, uh-oh, kind of disappeared. Long Dog drops another link. Let's go see what that is. I am turning into Doug. I'm going to have 75 links open here before the day is out. That looks to be pretty much the same one as before. Wilderness Voyagers Bike Tours. Idaho's some French and Indian. I can't pronounce that. Put it in English. And put it in simple English at that. Martin Rick Lakes is that. Yeah, I think he did get there, Rick. I think said he found it, and he's on an iPad. So now I'm wondering if the scroll will pick up the 2 or 3 new names that have been added since I ran the end of screen 15 minutes ago or so. Second question of the day is how many people watched either OBS, iPhone, and OBS issues, or yesterday's upload of OBS Part 2? Follow-up question to that is if you use OBS, was it helpful to you or not? I just heard a voice. I got absolutely nothing running. And it didn't come from Zoom. It's female. Huh. Colombian coffee is good for you. You get addicted to it. We don't want to go down that road, Martin. And join us on Zoom sometime, and I will explain to you why we don't want to go down that road. Is my turtle talking to you? Maybe it's Morse code, man. It's dot 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 dash dash that. Who knows? Uh, no, John, that ship has sailed, and I'm quite okay with it. Um, had that on my mind a little bit this morning for some odd reason, and things just don't add up and make sense. But hey, life itself sometimes does not make sense. So, it is what it is. It happened. It's done. It's over. It's time to move forward, move on, and I can put the milk and cookies away because I'm not going to be eaten. See how many people make that reference or not. So, Charlie says he watched part 1 and enjoyed it. Part 2 is basically the same as part 1 minus the iPhone. I just get a little bit more in detail and explain, go into settings, set your stream up how you want, or set the settings up how you want it, and then a little bit slower on setting your scenes, your sources, and how to use them. And it's basically layering. Once you get the concept of whatever's on top is going to be predominantly shown, it's a piece of cake. And DaVinci's the same way. So, and I am boring Rich because he's yawning. That is a clear sign to
Silk and satin and feel the night. Ooh, yeah. Glitter falling, golden light. Shine, shine. Every step a whispered tease. Moving slow like honeybees. Shimmy, shimmy, watch me glow. Take it high and bring it low. Down, down. Velvet shine, I steal the show. Feel the rhythm, let it flow, flow.
That's all, folks.
seriously? Was I on the first one? Oh yeah, I did make a comment. I dropped Rick Lakes' link in there. So, but I thought I made a comment. Oh yeah, I made a comment before. I made it at 11:59. Um, Rick says, "See us later." Yeah, I'm getting ready to end this. If you want to join us on the Zoom panel, you know the deal. K.Z00m@gmail.com, and we'll go there. You do have an ad blocker on the phone. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Enjoy your 4th of July. I'll see everyone tonight at 10 o'clock tonight for the normal. There's that word again. Normal Ken Style Live show with the Zoom homies. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Darren. That's all, folks.